Welcome, everybody, back to the bench seat, episode 7. You keep good track of these. I lose track of these. Episode 7, brought to you, as always, by MyBookie. Go to mybookie.com, sign up, use promo code GrillGuy, get half of your deposit matched. The big game is over, which we'll talk about. But there's so many more games. It's hoop season. We got March Madness. We got NBA playoffs. We got NHL hockey. We got UFC. We got it all. UFC. Sign up, mybookie.com, use promo code GrillGuy, get half of your deposit matched up to $2,000. That means $1,000 in free bets. Sheesh.
I'm signing up.
Man, we have a lot to cover.
We sure do.
On the bench seat.
Yes.
The newest member of the Atlanta Hawks. Number 20 in your playbooks, number 1 in your hearts, George, the G-Wagon Niang. Yeah. Goddamn, should we tell people the story?
Of what?
You and I just chopping it up on the phone.
Oh my God, I forgot that's actually how that happened. Yeah, so it was probably like 1:35, 1:38 on Thursday, and me and Kevin were talking about how he was going to come to Cleveland, and and we were joking around, and I was like, yeah, hold on a second, my GM's calling me. And then that's when my GM laid the news down that I was going to Atlanta, me and Karis, and thank you for what I've done in Cleveland, and that they'd be trading me.
Now, what is your, because after you get traded, is there a difference between how you feel and what you say? You know, is there knowing you are a consummate professional, always. So,
I think your immediate feeling is like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But it was crazy because I was getting a massage from a massage therapist of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and she clearly heard the conversation, right? So I'm getting a massage and talking on the phone with my agent, talking on the phone with the team, agent. Then everyone's calling me and my phone's going off, and I just kept getting a massage. And now that I look back on it, I kept getting a massage, and all I remember is hearing her behind me, but the massage felt like the only comforting thing at the moment, because it was it felt good to just be something that was still relaxing, because the rest of my life was just starting to get hectic. So I stayed there for another 45 minutes getting a massage while the poor massage therapist for the Cleveland Cavaliers is hysterically crying as she's giving me a massage, and I didn't even recognize it till I turned around and she was like, "I'm so sorry," da da da, and I was like, "No, it's totally fine, but I really appreciate all the work that we got to put together." And there's not much people can really say, right? Yeah. It's almost clean breakups are good when you just rip the Band-Aid off and you go your separate ways. I know there was a lot of history built and a lot of cool things that we got to accomplish together, but at the end of the day, it's that's the business aspect of it, that you have to just not bring your feelings in. And I'm saying that now because it's 6 days post, but if you could have seen me day one, I was my emotions were I was numb, I didn't know what to say, didn't know what to do. And then you get to a new spot and you you don't want to ruffle feathers, but you want to kind of implement yourself in there. So it was a crazy process, but it's honestly been awesome, getting back together with Quinn Snyder, and then also having someone like Karis LeVert, who's a consummate professional, who's been traded, who's done it before, and was on my team, and I've known him before. And then the other guy that got traded was Terance Mann, who actually, we grew up 15 minutes away from each other and went to
Tilton School.
And went to the same high school. I was told not to bang on this table, so I'm not going to bang on this table. But
went to the same
Yes. Shout out to Tilton School. Shout out Marcus O'Neal.
So wait, because I want to ask, he's a few years younger. Was he a freshman when you were a senior?
No, so he was there when I wasn't there, but we had just, not too many alumnus players are NBA players. Yeah. Well, Tilton there was a couple. But.
Yeah, elite players. Man, I just going back to kind of,
let's dive in.
Happened,
ask me the questions.
It's I one of the craziest part is this, is after you said, "Hey, I'm getting the call," I hung up, immediately Googled George Niang, and
Bam.
Fucking.
We were 5 minutes late.
It had hit.
Yeah, we were 5 minutes late.
So what happened? I saw I think it was 3 minutes earlier. Shams had tweeted it.
Yeah.
It's crazy how many players probably find out by getting a
If I probably wasn't on FaceTime with you, that's probably how I would have found out. Like, because I was like, you know, I was out getting a massage, and I was like, I'm going to use this massage time to pass like the next hour and a half till it's 3 o'clock, because I really didn't think we were doing anything. Like, you talk to your agents, and they're like, yeah, you know, blah, blah, blah. And, you know,
did you think you might have?
I was like, maybe, but I didn't think that we were going to do anything. Like, you look at it, like, I say weird. Like, when I was on the Cavs, we're 41-10. Like, we're the number 1 team in the East. So I was like, you know, why would we switch it up? But at the end of the day, like, I think as a realist, you have to be like, okay, on paper, like, that's a deal that they probably have to take when it comes to the business aspect, like expiring contracts, getting under the tax apron, player value, and
you know, shortening your bench, because you guys, you got, like, the Cavs have a lot of players that can get minutes.
And at first you want to take it personal, but you really can't, like, because it's not personal. And I don't know how to explain that, because it took me like a couple of days to like really understand that. But change is always like tough, right? You go into a situation where you're like, wow, I just put my all into one place and they decided to move on. Like, how do I learn to become vulnerable again? And I think the beautiful thing about sports is that, like, sports is like its own language, right? So then when I finally I was anxious before I played, but when I wasn't sleeping, like, and then when I finally got to play in like Washington, I was like, it didn't matter like what team was across my chest. It was just like that I got to be vulnerable in the game again and have that connect me with the group of guys that I was out there. And it was just like, okay, like, everything's going to be all right. Like, you know, because basketball is the reason why all of us are here. And it's like, now the business aspect is out of it. Now it's just like, let's hoop and win games.
Dude, in a weird way, like, as your friend, it felt that way a little bit too. Because, like, you know, you and I have been friendly for a while, but I'd say we've been closer friends the last year, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, I've never really been friends with somebody whose life gets uprooted like that, and it's just it's part of the business. And it's like, you know, texting my friends, it's like, imagine your employer just like can call you today and say, hey, tomorrow you live in Atlanta.
Bye.
Like, that's a crazy concept. And then my boy's like, well, dude, for fucking $8 million, I do it. And you're like, okay, like, you get it, but it doesn't take away from the fact, and that's why all of you guys are professionals, and you get it, and you're like, yes, of course. It doesn't take away from the fact that one day you're sitting here and your life is a certain way.
Right.
And then a phone call later, it's vastly different. I can imagine. And so, like, I didn't know, you know, like, as your friend, you feel anxious. Like, I talked to Anthony, I'm like, dude, I'm like, by
the way, Anthony is my best friend. That Kevin is trying to rob from me.
No. I texted him and he called me, actually. He was so cool because the first thing he said was like, dude, revenge tour. That's like his first word. He's like, that's what it is. And he's just such a good friend to you. And I was like almost getting advice from him. But it's like, I was anxious. I was like, how's this going to go? And then, like, I see you in the Hawks jersey. I'm like, God, it looks weird. And then halfway through the game, I'm like, oh, this is a great fit. And it's like, you calm down because you're like, oh, basketball is basketball. It doesn't matter. And then watching you, like, you're a fucking pro. You're out there, like, you're doing the same shit you did, you know, with another group of guys. You're just doing it with this new group. And then you get rocked in the eye.
Oh, my God. Rashawn Holmes, man, can you pay for my medical bill? Man, I got to get, like, contacts, eye drops. God, that flying elbow. No, it knocked some sense into me. I made like 4 straight shots after that.
Yeah, so. I think not to knock, but you were 0 for 3. I was like getting a little nerves out, and then it was like a 2-minute tear. I was like, sheesh. 4 for 4, bang, bang, bang. You scored 12 straight for the Hawks.
Yeah. No, it was big time.
What is the, like, I guess the question that probably fans would want to know is, like, what is the living situation like now? Like, do you just go down there? They don't have an apartment for you.
No,
so they just put you up in a spot.
The crazy part is we were on the end of a road trip for Cleveland, and Atlanta was just starting a road trip. So I was in D.C. and my agent calls me Thursday. It was like, yeah, you're being traded to the Hawks, but the Hawks play in. So I was in D.C. and they're like, the Hawks play D.C. on Saturday. I was like, okay, so am I just staying here? It's like, I'll get right back to you. So. I'm like, what the heck? So then they're like, Atlanta calls me and like, hey, we're going to have you fly down Friday morning, do physicals, which, by the way, like, they're like checking to see like if we saw the Mark Williams thing got rescinded.
Yeah.
So they're like doing X-rays, MRIs, like jump testing, like making sure like you're healthy so that they're getting like a healthy asset or player. So I'm doing that with another person, which is Karis. So like we're going like one after the other. So it was almost like a 4 or 5 hour process. So we fly in, 4 or 5 hour process. Like we go to the Hawks game then, and that's when I was like one of our first times kind of like meeting everybody.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just like a funky situation because it's like you're the new kid at school, but you're thinking in your head, like, do these guys think that, like, I'm coming to take, like, they're just, like, but it's all great. Like, they have great guys in the locker room. And then you sit there and you watch them play Milwaukee, and you're, like, still in a daze because you, like, still don't know what has, like, happened. And then they beat Milwaukee, and then you fly to D.C. overnight because we have a back-to-back, and I'm like, God, this team just beat Milwaukee without us. Like, we're about to play D.C. Like, I don't want to mess anything up. And, so it's just a whirlwind of emotions. But yeah, so I've been living out of a suitcase here for like 10 days, and luckily we'll have All-Star break, so I'll be able to go home in Boston. I don't know if I'll go back to Cleveland. The teams do a good job of like being able to hire someone to pack your stuff up.
Okay, cool.
And then figuring out where I live in Atlanta.
I imagine that the first feeling when you walk into the new building is that feeling when you're like at like a work conference and they're providing you lunch and you have to go get lunch, and then you turn and you have to figure out where you're gonna sit with the tray of food in your hand. Do you know that feeling I'm talking about?
Or it's more like the Alcoholics Anonymous meeting where like, hi, I'm George, and like, hi, George.
You're like doing icebreakers. I mean, I'm sure you know like half the guys because it's like a fraternity. You guys are an elite together, but there's some people you don't know.
Well, the problem with me is like I've been known to talk some shit to a lot of people, so I'm like, I was looking at the roster being like, okay, like, who have I really said some outlandish stuff to? So luckily I hadn't said anything to Ice Trey. So
it's speaking of that, we should get to that because they're 3 in a row now, and that's because I'm just coming back to Milwaukee. I don't know if they're on a streak before that.
3 in a row, no. Yeah.
It seems like already you kind of building chemistry, and Trey seems like he does a good job of, you know, he's the leader of the team, I would assume. Yeah. And it seems like you guys are already kind of dapping each other up, like talking. It seems like the chemistry is already getting there. Like personality-wise, it feels like you're a fun fit there.
Yeah.
Do you like? Is there any? I mean, you can't be like, this guy sucks, obviously.
Yeah,
but.
I've enjoyed it, you know, so far. Like, you're just like a sponge, right? You're kind of taking it all in, people's personality, style of play, where they're going to be. You know, unfortunately, last night we had a couple guys, you know.
Yeah, Nance.
Yeah, and, you know, Veet, Krejci,
Did he get hurt too?
He like fell.
On the dunk.
And
yeah, that's right.
Leave the game, so kind of a reckless play. But, you know, you're just kind of a sponge, soaking it all in and, you know, finding your way to fit in, and obviously talking has been my main skill set, even overshooting and
people say you're an elite shooter, but you're an elite talker.
Talker, yes, communication.
Yeah, no, but even in the second game, maybe because you're feeling more comfortable, whatever, you're directing traffic, especially on the defensive end, which I always give you props for. Knowing the game of basketball so well, being a high
scored 32,
34, which is one more than your career high, and also just being somebody who was, you know, a defensive coordinator at the almost highest level of Division III basketball. I can see you're out there directing traffic. Have they empowered you to? You know, you've played for Quinn before, and you're looked at as a veteran. You're probably a little bit older than a lot of these guys.
I think it's more or less like understanding like basketball and going off feel, and like if that's not their scheme, then like I'm kind of like, hey, we do things this way, but it's more or less going off like what I've seen. And you know, I have a really good relationship with our head coach. Like Quinn Snyder coached me in Utah, and you know, not to take it too deep of a dive into what he's done for my career, but he was like the first coach that like kind of like believed in me and what I could do and my abilities and trust me. And then from there on out, we've kind of kept that relationship throughout the NBA. And, you know, obviously we've won a lot of games together when I was in Utah. And I think when you get traded, your first instinct is just like, let me just get lost in the process of my routine and how I can help this team win games, and just kind of just go from there. And I think, with my communication and talking and maybe like directing traffic, people see that it comes from a good place, and it's not just like me trying to look out for me, the new guy coming in trying to look out for himself. It's like, how can I make all of us better? But everyone's been super receptive of that and kind of allowing me to be me, and you don't find that everywhere. So it's been really awesome. I know it's only 2 games, and then we have the All-Star break.
Yeah.
So it's like we have a long way to go, but when your first steps are
in the right
picking up traction, it's really good.
Yeah, I think you guys have a chance. And the Hawks, I think it was 2 years ago, went on a massive run after the All-Star break, and so now I want to talk a little bit about the basketball side of things. And I don't know if you're going to get mad at me for doing this, but I want to give my take on the basketball side of things on why this trade I don't think makes so much sense for the Cavaliers, but why I do think it makes sense for the Atlanta Hawks. And I think you're hit on the latter part of that, which is, it seems like Quinn Snyder wanted you. And it seems like you weren't just a name attached. It was like, oh, we actually want this then. We want to bring this guy in. And evidenced by you starting the first game and the first 2 games, playing a significant role.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it. But I think on the other side of it, like for the Cavaliers, I don't understand a team that's at the top of the league shaking up that locker room like that. I'm sure everybody's a professional and everybody can handle it, but sometimes you're around a team and you're like, man, there's something special happening in the relationships with these people. And I'm from a school of thought that can be more valuable than anything you can do on the court, within reason. Obviously, you got to have the right players, which they did in Cleveland. It's hard for me to feel like it makes sense for the Cavs. So I know you probably don't want to respond to that.
No, listen, but I completely get it. Like, from their aspect, they are looking for the right way with size and depth and shooting to match up with Boston. Yeah. And they felt like they needed a bigger wing that can bring some scoring and also can defend at a high level. And that's what they felt that they wanted, and they went out and did that. And at the end of the day, that comes at a cost, right? Like, we didn't just get traded for cash considerations. Like they gave up they gave up 3 picks, and me and Karis were actual rotational players and have been rotational players in the NBA for a while now. So they clearly had to give some things up to get the guy that they wanted. And listen, I'm sitting here giving the political answer, but obviously a couple days ago I was
fuck yeah. What we really want to say is fuck you guys, okay? You're cool, and fuck you, dude.
No, but obviously with your first jolt reaction is what the...
It hurts.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like getting punched in the face.
Yeah.
No, but everyone's a professional. At the end of the day, I got the best advice a couple years ago, and when something doesn't go your way, it's we know what we signed up for when we got in this job. People only want to talk about the pros of getting paid, traveling on private planes, but yes, the downfall of that is you could get traded, you could get cut, you could be kind of misplaced and in the shuffle, but the upside is really good. It's like anything in life. There's a downside to stocks and investments, but there is an upside if you do get it right. You know?
And this isn't even a heartbreaking one. You look at some of the Isaiah Thomas one, or there's some heartbreaking ones where it's damn, they did you dirt. This was just kind of maybe made sense for both teams or whatever, but it's still damn, I don't know, just.
I mean, I'm feeling this way. If I was feeling that way, imagine how a Luka,
right,
was feeling, or an Anthony Davis was pretty tied in.
Yeah.
Out there, I'm trying to think. I didn't look at any other trades for the last hour and a half. I was just so
I can imagine it's such a weird whirlwind of emotions. But speaking of trades, one got rescinded. What I guess as an insider-ish, someone who went through it, I didn't read the details, but how is that not caught early on? How is that?
That's
how do you
one where you try to slip one in there, no, just take this.
Yeah,
but
it's the $20 bills where they're all folded, but then one of them's ripped in half.
Yeah.
You're no, that's
no, that one's good. That one's a good one for you. That one's a good one for you.
You're like, I swear it's $500. Yeah. It's like, no, dude.
And like the gangsters counting, he was like, it's 480. It's 480, you punk. Yeah.
Or like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you flip it around like in Friday.
And he's like, Gino, get him. He's like, no, I'm sorry.
Please.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I got it. I'm good for it.
Well, it was weird because Mark Williams has been hurt, but like as a young team in Charlotte, you're giving up Mark Williams, who averaged 16-9 as a 22-year-old. Like, you know, that's a little that's a little fishy. You know.
Do you think they did it like thinking, oh damn, if this Luka shit went through, there's no way our shit's not going to go through?
I don't honestly.
Like, do you think that put a battery in some teams' backs?
I don't know, because now I'm reading some stuff that says that they're trying to like fight it being rescinded.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm like, that's wild. Like I saw Dalton connect on the bench. So what if they're like, hey, buddy,
No, we really don't want you. Like, we'll take you for now.
You're going back. Which, I mean, he's good. I mean, it's just a wild place. Like, it's like
it's a crazy concept.
You can't even wrap your head around it because, one, sometimes you think like that'll never be me, and then when it is you, you're like, whoa,
like fuck,
yeah, like what's going on? But I'll give the Atlanta Hawks a ton of credit. Their support staff has been like phenomenal, whether it's like having suitcases shipped to the hotel that I'm going to or like finding places and leaving tickets for people and this, that, and the third. Like, funny story, my dad was driving up from Virginia to watch me in D.C. and I was like, hey, I just got traded, so I'm not going to be playing on Friday.
But I'm playing on Saturday.
Or no, he was like, I just got traded to Atlanta. He was like, oh, wait, so you're not playing on Friday? And I was like, yes, like I'm no longer on that team. So, no, they've done a great job of like, you know.
No, Dad, they traded me. Yeah. I'm not on the Cavs anymore.
Yeah. So just they've done a great job of, you know, offering me a ton of help with, you know, feeling comfortable. I mean, they can't help like where we're traveling to. Like now we're in New York. But they've done a phenomenal job of kind of getting me acclimated as best they can.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can imagine like those people behind the scenes are the ones that like really make shit happen.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know.
Those people don't get enough credit.
It's like at school, when you become a teacher, they tell you the people you got to get in with, you got to be cool with always are the janitors and the security guards because they have the keys to like figuratively.
To the benzo.
Yeah, they got the keys to everything. So you got to be nice. I'm sure like the sports have the same way. What would you say if you were Dalton Connect going back into a team that traded you? I mean, I know you'd be a professional, but what like,
I'd walk in, I'd be like, my back hurts.
I can't play.
Yeah, I have spasms. No, I wouldn't do that. That's a tough situation, especially for someone that's a rookie.
Yeah, like you just got there.
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be a little bit of like, but he also has to understand it. Like, when you get Luka, that's someone that offers stuff up that you can do, which is shooting and scoring and size. So they needed like a center. So it wasn't nothing like anything personal. It was just like there's a certain amount of roles that you need for a team to be successful, and they had your role filled. So they need to replace you with someone that can fill that role that they didn't have, and that's where you got to take the emotion out of it. It's not like we don't think you're good enough. Where some trades that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
But
like you said, it's not cash considerations. Like you're getting traded for a really good player.
No offense to anybody, but when that happens,
and they get waived right away. I can imagine part of you is like, or at least like you know, you're trying to remind yourself like, oh, I'm being moved because I'm valuable. Also, you know, it's like he's got to think Dalton Connect as a rookie. You're being moved because you're valuable. Otherwise, 100%. We wouldn't. You know, we couldn't move you if you're not. Okay, I want to say one quick thing before we get to this next.
One quick thing.
This doesn't always happen.
This segment is brought to you by MyBookie.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Do I really click my teeth?
Yeah.
God damn it. Anyway, this is brought to you by MyBookie. This next segment is called Guess That Number. It's brought to you by MyBookie. Speaking of numbers, if you deposit 1,000, you get half of that.
Yes.
One half, which is a number matched in free bets if you use promo code GRILLGUY. GRILLGUY. Grill Guy. Sign it up, use it. Okay, I haven't told you about this. You're coming in blind on this.
Whoa.
blind. We're making some more eye jokes. This is called Guess That Number. I'm going to give you a few players.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me what you think their Instagram following number is.
Okay.
And then as a bonus, I want you to tell me how many people you think they're following.
Okay.
Okay. Which is a funny game because like if you're one of those people that follows like 10,000 but you got like a 6,000 person following.
Whoa, you can't follow 10,000 people.
You got to have a good. So we talk about great ratios. Some of these people have great ratios. Okay. The one, the only, Iceman, Trae Young. How many followers does he have on Instagram?
I would say he's probably in like the 3 million.
Okay. So you're going to go with, and by the way, in the millions, you can do points. So you can do like
3.3.
So you can go 3.3.
In between 3.3 and 3.5.
An enormous undersell for you, Trey. 3.3.
Oh,
your new
13
teammate
actually.
thinks. We're going to go with 13. It's 10 more, 10x. It's 5.1 million followers, which is a good amount.
Ice Trey.
Ice Trey. I think I said the Ice Man. I should say Ice Trey.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was so funny. So we leave. So there's always people like waiting outside to like, I don't know how these people find out what hotels are staying at, but they're waiting outside in DC and we pull up with our buses and they have like stuff that like they want Trey to autograph. Yeah. Like there's no chance this guy is going over there to autograph. Yeah. And one of them was like, come on, man, ice cream Trae Young. Like
ice cream.
Yeah, I was like, dang, that's what he said. He's like, yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. Nobody's ever called me that.
Imagine your nickname is Ice Cream.
No.
That's how I felt.
Dude.
That's exactly how I felt. Okay. Quick story time. I'm meeting George in Cleveland, pause, and he says, meet me at this hotel because you're getting treatment at the hotel. I walk through the like lobby of this hotel because I don't know where to meet you because it's like in the middle of Cleveland. So it's like we're getting in a car, I know. And the entire Boston Celtics are waiting down there. And I just walk through and I'm like waving and then like I didn't know where to go, and as soon as I saw them all, I got intimidated, so I didn't want to sit down. Like, cause I'm like, just a random dude sitting down staring at this like NBA team. So I had to walk out, and like I had to turn the corner because I was scared people were thinking I was like a stalker or something. Like
you kind of are though with that creepy mustache.
I was like, hey Sam Hauser, you follow me on Instagram, please. Can you hit the table up way? Okay, that's not funny. That was a masturbation joke. Okay. The rookie, number one.
Am I supposed to guess?
Oh, yeah. Guess how many he's following, which is a wild number.
384.
Damn! 387. Sheesh.
Dang, pop.
Damn.
No, it's funny because I followed him.
Did he follow?
Or he followed? Yeah, we're teammates, bro.
Yeah,
we're like
type shit.
We're like brothers. No, so that's when I saw that.
Okay, so you saw it. Well, maybe we can get the bench sheet and it'll be 388. Follow the bench sheet, Trey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. We're on our way up. Zachary Risachet.
Yeah.
The number one overall pick, which is crazy. What do you think his follower count is at?
112,000.
Dude, George on his shit. 110,000. You know who's bumped up to 112 since he went to Atlanta? G-Wagon.
Welcome to Atlanta where the players play.
You know what? Your courtside is probably so much cooler in Atlanta than it is in...
There are some real distractions courtside.
It's also like a millennials, like, because like, you know...
Yeah, I go sit on the bench and then I'm like, oh, there's 2 Chainz. And then like, so after the game we beat Milwaukee and I was like talking to people in Milwaukee and I walked up and DC Young Fly was like, hey man, welcome to the city, man.
Yeah, that's dope.
I was like, that's hard.
He does a lot of like content stuff for
Yeah, he's funny.
Hey, welcome to the city, man. He's hilarious. Okay. The 978 native.
Ooh, I have no clue about this one.
978 native.
Because we had been following each other.
Yeah, you had been. So if you could give us a follower count on
300K?
Damn, that's high. Hey, my man's he's selling you high.
80K?
No, 158,000. Should be more. I mean, he's only posted 130 times. This is a guy that needs to post more. He is.
Yeah, you should get him how you cornered me. Like, hey, bro, like let's get your content up.
I'll get your content up. All you got to do is shoot me a follow, shoot Benchseat a follow. How many people do you think he's following? Mann, Terance Mann, who had a good game last night.
500, yeah, he didn't miss a shot.
No, he was playing great. Yeah. No, more than 500. 1,002.
Oh, okay.
Now, did you ever like...
Sometimes you'll just be like in the mix and people will be like, oh, follow me, or like you'll be with a group of people and you're friendly and you end up like feeling the need to follow them, and like, and then I'm never gonna like unfollow you. So
yeah, you're there.
Sometimes I get caught in that aspect of, you know.
Basically, he's saying if he follows you and you're not cool, he wants to unfollow you, but it's too much. Yeah. So you know who you are, basically.
You survived.
You survived. Did you ever meet Terance when he was a kid? Like, did you know him? I know you're from around the area.
Yeah, when he was
like,
high school.
You would go back.
So we played for like the same AAU team. So essentially the AAU team I played for is called BABC, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know that. And Hurley played for that.
Yeah. And like you'd be on this team, and if you're in a public school, like our AAU coach, you know, would be like, hey, like, are you interested in, you know, going to prep school? Like prep school basketball was like, and he had relationships with these, you know, whether if it was like Cushing Academy, New Hampton, St. Andrews, Tilton, that would be like, okay, like you can look at this one, or, you know, and figure out, kind of like help you out. His name was Leo Papillo. He's like the godfather of Boston basketball. Yes, he's Italian.
His name is Leo Papillo?
Papillo.
Okay, I thought you said his name was Leo Papillo.
No, Papillo.
So I was about to say, if
no, stop disrespecting the name.
I'm sorry. He's probably legend.
Because he will have someone.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Italian he's missing gone yonder.
I can't find him. He's gone.
Yeah.
So you knew him as a kid. He was nice back then. Did you think he had?
Yeah, no, he was good. I mean, I don't think anybody really predicts who can go to the NBA, because there are some guys that you thought were like
dogs,
no brainers, and they don't. But Terance is just a winner. Like at every level he's been at, he's won.
Yeah.
And I think having that with us in Atlanta is great.
It's good to see Terance, because he was kind of getting lost on that bench in LA, and he's a good player, and so it's good to see him come here, be valued. Last night he was getting buckets.
Yeah, I think
him and Karis with 18, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, just doing what they do, which is get buckets.
Yeah.
Cool to see. Okay, speaking of LeVert, now this is your home because you were on the same team for 2 years now.
No, this ain't
so if
right.
you're not close, this is going to be tough. And if he sells you short, Vert, I apologize. Now
there's one thing Vert gonna do. You know what he gonna do? Vert.
He gonna Vert?
Vert gonna Vert.
He's a certified Bucky. I loved your post that was like Vert doing what Vert do. You were like,
ain't nothing changed but the location.
Yeah. You know, ain't nothing changed but the location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was funny because, like, you know, when we got traded, like we got picked up from the hotel, drove an hour, and like you don't really like. Not to say you don't know what to say, you're just
you're
just kind of in a daze, and then, you know, we're on the plane. He was falling asleep. I was looking out the window, and then we got there, and we got off, and they welcomed us. We got on the bus, and he tapped me while there. He was like, 65 and sunny ain't bad. I was like, out of all the things you could have said, and you said that, like, you're funny.
65 and sunny ain't bad.
Yeah.
That's a cool outlook, though, and it's like funny story, but it's like, you know what, you gotta like hang on to these little things.
Oh,
like,
absolutely, because all you can do is like laugh and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm sure you guys are becoming close. All right, I shouldn't tell you. Go ahead. I gave you the first hint.
He follows 2,000?
No, he follows 1,093. How many follow him?
200K.
That's it?
Damn. 235.
Damn, 236. 236,000 followers.
He's a Michigan grad though. Like,
I know, but
that is a huge following. The only problem is he's from Columbus, and then he was working in or Cleveland. So get a load of this. So rather than like when you're like Karis LeVert, at guard from the University of Michigan. Yeah. No, he doesn't say at guard from Columbus.
That's what he did?
Yeah.
Well, they said Michigan in his
Cleveland they didn't do that.
Oh, yeah. I like that move.
Very politically smart.
Here's the thing, though. He only has posted 43 times, so his ratio of posts to followers, very, very high.
But, yes, but you know? What I'm telling you is like it's almost like when the Yeezys were with Nike, like you couldn't really get a a bunch of them. So it's like he leaves the people wanting more because like the quality of posts are really high, but he's not going to give you them all the time.
Yeah, he'd
be like 2022 dump, and like, yo, it's 2024.
Whatever. He's like the McRib. Like he only comes out once in a while. When he does, it creates a frenzy.
Yeah, there's a buzz. They're like, oh, Karis just posted. Like all of a sudden, like 5,000 people are just putting his post on their story.
Yeah, like all of a sudden, and they're all. Anytime you guys repost each other, you just do the same. Like.
The bullhorns. That's tough, twin.
Tough.
Say, twin.
I did come after you guys because right after Media Day, all of you post and you say the year you're in.
Yeah.
Year 9. Year 8.
Year 9, same grind.
I was like, NBA players, you can do something else besides year 6. You can just post
He's saying that because a friend of the podcast, TJ McConnell, was making fun of.
No, he got that from, he reposted my thing.
Yeah.
So TJ, shout out to TJ. We got to get him on the pod. Okay, last but not least. Now, this is going to be a little off. This is somebody that I enjoyed watching play when he was in college. He played at a smaller market. I'll give you the hint. You should know. I used to watch him play at NJIT every year. Really, really good player. And in this conference was far and away the best player in this conference. Bigger than everybody, shot the shit out of the ball, is now tatted up, at least on one side. His name is Garrison Matthews. Very good basketball player. Enjoyed him at Lipscomb.
Yo, wait. What is his IG? Because I don't even know if I follow him.
Oh, that's crazy. You can't look.
G-Baby's my dog, so let me...
Don't look. Well, before you look.
Oh, sorry.
Did you look at it?
No, I didn't.
Okay. How many?
60,000.
60,000. It should be 60,000. It's only 15,000 because he only has 35 posts. Garrison, if you need anybody to help you with your content, I know a good guy. His name rhymes with Brill by. Garrison Matthews, really, really, really good player. I mean, found a niche for himself in the NBA and is having a good career.
He's a beast. He doesn't even follow me, but I'm going to follow him.
Damn. G-Baby, we need to get you on there ASAP. No Rocky. Okay, looking forward, you guys have, and now you're following everybody now? He's looking at all the you may know people, and it's all his Atlanta Hawks teammates.
From Tennessee. He's from Tennessee. He likes country music. I was talking with him today about it. It's actually funny.
You guys we should all go to Nashville and just listen to some country music.
You can't do that. You're a father.
I'm allowed to go to Nashville.
Yeah. No, you don't run the show. You run around your house. You don't run through it.
Yeah, George knows this very well.
Yeah, shout out Aaron.
He called when he FaceTimes me, my wife's there. You have to ask.
I'm like, damn, you can't get away from the warden.
He's saying this because I'm solo parenting this week, and wife's out making the cheddar while daddy's home.
Stay at home, Maddie.
Yeah. Okay, you guys have New York. We talked about a little bit before the pod. Tomorrow, so this will probably drop tomorrow when New York is when you guys are about to play. Are you ready to be a villain at Madison Square Garden? Because there is a little bit of a rivalry with Ice Tray. And so anybody that Ice Tray is dapping up, or if you start talking shit, you might become the new villain at MSG. Are you ready for that?
New York's a heck of a place, man. Why not? I mean, at the end of the day, people understand, like, MSG is like, they call it the Mecca.
Oh, yeah.
For a reason. It's a heck of a place to play basketball. And then you look at, what Trey's been able to do against the Knicks. It's going to be a fun environment.
Okay. George, this was fun. Yeah. We do have, it's going to be weird because next week we have an episode dropping with a former teammate.
Yes.
Who we love.
Yeah, we love Ty Jerome.
We love him.
We do have an episode dropping with him. We got to give you guys that content.
Yeah. We were going to drop that this week, but
there's a lot of stuff that got on, and this is the quickest me and Kevin could get together. So we wanted to bring you guys, my thoughts, feelings about what had happened. Yes, I did get traded. I'm in Atlanta now. We're still going to be giving you guys an episode a week. Yep. Next week will be obviously the interview with Ty, and we're excited for you guys to kind of get to know a little bit more about him.
Wish them all the best. Love all the teammates.
Yeah, absolutely.
But fuck the Cavaliers. I can say it. You don't have to say it. I will say it.
I did not say that.
But all the people that work there are cool. They've all been really cool. And I sent a message to the social media people who we had a group chat with.
Who? Huh?
Yeah, I know.
No kidding.
Okay, thank you, everybody. As a reminder, this is brought to you by MyBookie. You go to mybookie.com, use promo code GRILLGUY, get half of your deposit matched for Mr. G-Wagon. G-Wagon in Atlanta.
Let's go riding around that G-Wagon. This is the Bench Sheet Podcast. Like, subscribe, follow, Instagram.
All of it. TikTok.
Yeah, whoa.
Shorts.
All right, we're out.
Okay, bye, guys.
Later.